Umapat Mahadev ki jai. Special welcome to one more. Let's all join in opening prayer. We put our hands together, close our eyes and bow heads in prayer. Bring to that mind, bring to mind our that form of Bhagwan Shri Ganapati. As you concentrate upon Bhagwan Shri Ganesh, we ask His blessings upon all of us gathered here in temple this morning. Lord, as we begin this first week, this first day of this week, we ask your blessings. Remove all impediments or blockage from our pathway. Bless us, O Lord, so that we all can be able to be the right decision, the right choice in the next week ahead and the weeks to follow. Receive the blessings of God. वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा ज्ञान देहि स्मृति देहि विद्या विद्याधिदेवते प्रतिष्ठां कलितं देहि सरस्वती नमोस्तुते। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वर गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। नागेन्द्रहाराय त्रिलोचनाय भस्मांगरागाय महेश्वराय नित्याय शुद्धाय दिगंबराय तस्मै नकाराय नमः शिवाय। ओम नीलं भुजं श्यामलकोमलांगं सीतासमारोपितुमामभागं पानुमहासायकचारुचापं नमामि रामं रघुवंशनाथं सनातनं। ओम अतुलितबलधाम स्वर्णशैलाभदेहं धनुजबलकृशानं ज्ञाननामाग्रगण्यं सकलगुणनिधानं वानराणामधीशं रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातं नमामि। प्रेम से बोलो श्री पवनपुत्र हनुमान की जय। श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधार अरुण रघुवर विमल जसु जो दायक फलचार बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेश विकार हरहु कलेश विकार। जय वीर हनुमान। Vrindavan Biharlal ki jai. So we continue with chapter 12, with the 16th shloka. So just 4 more shlokas to go until we complete this chapter. Anapeksha suchirdaksha उदासीनो गतव्यतः सर्वारंभ परित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः। So, recapping from last week, when Bhagwan Krishna was mentioned in the 15th shloka, Jismano Jujati Loko Lokano Jujati Jya Harsha Marsha Bhaiva Begaramukto Satya Sachame Priya. And Bhagwan Krishna was spoken to Arjuna, it says by that devotee who does not cause pain to anyone, nor is he pained by anyone. That devotee who does not disturb anyone, that devotee who is equal in happiness and in sadness and distress, in fear, anxiety and so on, that devotee is, that person, that bhakta is close to me, very dear to me. So he continues and he says that dear to me is the devotee who is not dependent on mundane or social activities. In this world that we're living in, we are dependent upon a lot of things. Can we survive without money? We could survive without money. We might for a while. So we are dependent on money. Can we survive without food? For a while. So Bhagavan Krishna is saying, take for example like money in this world. Dependent on these things in this world, the social activities and the things of this world. And he speaks about a bhakta. He says that a devotee of Bhagavan, God, Bhagavan devotee, should not, even though he may be offered money, the essence is not the money. Even though money is something that we need in our everyday life, but the bhakta, the devotee of Bhagavan, should not be only engaged in the acquisition of money. While money is a necessity, while we need finance to make our life a better one and a happier one, but he says to the bhakta, yes, if it is offered to him, fine. It's given to him, okay. But the devotee, now there's a difference between the grihast, the householder, who lives in this material world and lives a material life, as opposed to the bhakta, who lives a spiritual life. Even though money is offered, as I said, but he must not be dependent on having to go and look and find money and work and struggle and only be involved in acquiring money. Then he is dependent on the material world. Bhagavan Krishna says that that bhakta who has reached that state of understanding and firm belief in bhakti and devotion to him, and who is not dependent on money, who is not dependent on the things of this world, who is not attached to the things of this world. You use the money for the purpose of it, but don't get too attached to it. If money comes by, it's good. If you have, he's okay. If he doesn't have, he's okay. Why? Because you remember in the last shloka, Bhagavan Krishna would have said that that person who is equal in happiness and sadness. So if the bhakta does not have something to go by materially, he's not bothered. As long as he has that opportunity to chant the name of God, he has that opportunity to sing and glorify the name of Bhagavan, he's happy. Maybe if he doesn't get the opportunity to sing God's name, he becomes sad. But then, even in the state of sadness, you recognize the supremacy of Bhagavan. In the state of disappointment, yet again we recognize the blessings of God. Many times we are disappointed and you feel saddened because things didn't go your way. Things did not work out the way you wanted to work out. But we must also understand that Bhagavan is also in the state of disappointment. God exists in that state, he exists in every state. Every condition you can think of Bhagwan. All the social activities in this world, everything in this world, all the devotees should be really engaged in this performance of worship to Bhagwan. Look at everything. He had a social distance himself from the material world. The way to coronavirus with the social distance. The Bhakta distanced himself from the attachment of this world. Do you know why we have to distance ourselves? Because it brings sadness to our heart. While material things bring happiness, it also brings sadness. Once we are engaged in the mundane world, once we engage in the material world, we are going to be faced with the pairs of opposites. That aspect of duality will always be there. So you're going to be happy, you're going to be sad. If you rise above that, even though you live in the material world, the consciousness of Bhagwan is there. Or all actions are offered unto Bhagwan, and they are no disappointment. That Bhakta who is pure. It is recommended in our scriptures of Trikal Sandhya. Puja should be done 3 times a day. So that you can go to work, wish. You can't go and do that and pray, right? Is it that what it means? No. We talk at least with Bhakta, and the scriptures talks about Trikal Sandhya. Do your puja in the morning, in the evening, lunchtime, and so on. It doesn't mean that you have to sit in the puja room at least 3 times a day. You have to go to the temple 3 times a day. No. You drive in your car, you can say a prayer. Your job, your duty, your work is like offering to Bhagwan. You eat your food, you're offering to Bhagwan. Everything you do, you're offering to Bhagwan. And when you do that, 3 times a day is a minimum. But engage in the activities where you offer your actions and your activities to Bhagwan. Every day is prayer. Every minute is prayer. Be pure. Be pure at heart. Be free in this world. How can you free yourself from yourself? You think that easy to do? First you need to free yourself from this world. Free yourself from the attachment of this world. You see, when you don't have certain things in this world, and you don't have desires in this world, we do have material desires in this world, then we are not chained. We are not handcuffed to this world. We are not bound by this world. If your desire is to serve Bhagwan, and you see anything about it, we must understand that everything God allows to happen, both good and bad. And you will say, well, what type of God we have, we allow bad things to happen? Bhagwan don't really interfere with your karma. The actions that you perform, you reap the rewards. So if you are reaping bad rewards, because you would have done something negative, don't blame God. If you pray to Bhagwan, he says, yes, he can remove the writings of Brahma, which means he can change that pathway of destiny that is so destined for you. But we must be able to have that implicit faith in Bhagwan. And when you have that faith in Bhagwan, it's like the keys to the lock, to unlock yourself from this material world. Too many times we are disturbed, we are distracted when we are not, when we doesn't get things our way. Very easily we become distracted in this world. Free yourself from all these distractions. Can anybody disappoint you if you have the blessings of Bhagwan? Can anybody really disappoint you if you have faith in God? If you go for an interview and you didn't get a job, fine. You get a job. But guess what? When you go down the road, somebody will give you something that you wanted all the time. I give you a typical example of something happened yesterday. There's this building, a huge building that I saw. I wanted to approach the people to engage in the work. But every time I decide to go there, something come up and I could never reach. And yesterday I would have met a guy. He said, Babs, I will give it that place. The days of I will get. So when you feel that a disappointment is something that will really turn out to be bad, disappointment is really what is paving the way for the success to come. So we free ourselves from all the attachment, all the agitation, everything in this world, and just be free to pray to God when you want to. You're not going to stop you. You want to fast, you want to pray, you want to do whatever you want to do. That's your privilege. Careful as you go around, as you traverse this world and you walk the plane of this earth, to do things and activities that are unfavorable to bhakti. Do not do things that will cause your mind to be upset. Do not do things that will bring unhappiness to yourself and to others. There's a saying, sometimes people say, me, myself, and I. Have you heard of that? You see, me, myself, and I is true, right? Yet it might refer to yourself. But then me, myself, and I. When you're thinking about, when you're doing an action, think twice, think 3 times. How it affects me, how it affects myself, and how it affects I. How it affects you, how it affects the people that you associate with, how it affects the community. If you're working, you're providing a service, how it affects the client, how it affects the employee, how it affects the owner. And this is how we think in life. Do not do anything in this world that will cause you to be sorry, that will take you away from that pathway of devotion, that pathway of bhakti. Everything we do in life must be geared towards reaching that final destination, the feet of Bhagwan. Everything that we do in life, sometimes people say, well, you must do a good every day. But then when you do one good every day and you count that blessings, and every time you do a good, you count it, better you didn't do the good. Because when you count the blessings, you're looking for a reward. Every time you count the blessings and you say, well, I have done X, Y, and Z, you're looking for a reward. Bhagwan says, don't even count the blessing, just do it. Every action you perform in this world, let it be geared towards bhakti. Let it be geared towards good. Let it be done to the best interest of everyone, the best interest of the job, the best interest of the family. And in so doing, we will all find ourselves on that pathway of devotion. Bolo Sri Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. So we are listening to Guru Paksha. Jai Jai Radha Rama Hari Bol. Jai Radha Rama Hari Bol. Now this morning I was listening to the Kirtan right from there was some good vibration this morning. So let's create the same vibration or even better. Jai Jai Radha Rama Hari Bol.